Okay, just going to introduce a little bit of our team. First, as she just said, Savannah Curtis, our graduate assistant. Lucas Langdon, up in the front, he is the director of campus life. There is Rebecca Washington. Unfortunately, she's not here today due to conflict issues or schedule issues, but she's also one of the student assistants for the Student Orchard Campus Life. And then I myself, Carter Smeaner, the other student assistant. So we do a few different things in the Student Org department. We provide professional development and training, such as SOLAR, where you're live right now, and Eagle Leaders Institute. We have recruitment events such as Eagle Fest, as well as Winter Fest, the Student Org fairs. And the scholarship opportunities that we have are the conference funding and collaboration grants. And the applications will go live to that on Monday, September 23rd.
Awesome. So one of the most important things that we're going to talk about tonight is your annual update process, which you have to do once every year. We did migrate, I'm sure you know, over the summer. We upgraded our system, so visually the update process looks a little bit different for you, so it's really important that you pay attention to what that's going to look like for you now. So, why should you update? You should update so that we have accurate records of your organization for your board members, and also because of these things. So, in order to host events on campus, to book meeting spaces with complement services, you do need to be updated and in good standing. In order to participate in events like Eagle Fest, Winter Fest, which for many of you are really important activities to get connected with the students on campus, to receive funding from any department on campus, you need to be in good standing, and then lastly, to show in the public or basically homepage of Eagle things. So many of you may have noticed if you are frozen, you don't show up when you search yourself in the homepage, and that's because you are frozen. So you won't show up in the public domain, and that's because if I'm a prospective student and I'm looking for an organization to get interested in, and you haven't updated in a year, or maybe you just aren't going to be an org anymore, and that's why you haven't updated in a year, we don't want them to be able to contact you or try and join an org if you're not understanding. So just know that. It's not that you disappeared, you just aren't visible on the home page. So when do you update? So because we migrated over the summer, the new system has given us a really great opportunity to look at our update processes, because we really want this to be easy for you. We want this to be the easiest process for you to be able to update, to be in good standing, connect with students, do all the great things that you do. And so we have made a couple changes to the process. So first is that you need to update just once a year, so once for the year of 2019, before October 1st. So after October 1st, that update process will close. And that will open, March 31st. So from March 31st to October 1st, that re-register your organization button is going to be live on your portal. You can register your organization at any point in time. If you have changes to your roster after October 1st, so maybe you have some members drop out or you have some members graduate in the winter, there will be a roster revision form in EagleSync that you can fill out to let us know specifically what members changed, but you don't need to fill out an entire re-registration request. It's just a form, and then you'll be good to go. And then how do you update? So you're going to complete a re-registration or update application in EagleSync, and at the very end of that application, or the last step in that process, is signature forms. So all of your board members, including your advisor, need to fill out a signature form, and that is what allows us to continue the process and do your academic checks and your community checks with the university. So what that looks like visually in the system. So when you sign in on your homepage, you're going to click on that grid icon next to your profile picture, your initials, whatever shows there for you, and you will navigate into the Manage view, or the admin side of your portal. When you log in, you're in that Explore view, the public domain. So the Manage view, that will not show for all of you. Typically, that is just your president, your advisor, your vice president, who is managing your portal, who will automatically have that access, but you also have the ability to customize that. So if you want all of your board members, if you want other specific people to have access to that, or to be able to manage certain things in your portals, maybe you want someone to just be able to manage events, you can customize that in your portal. So you'll navigate to your manage, and you will go to the action center, where you'll see all of your memberships. So you can click on any one of those. If you want to open up, say, Basket Weavers, which is not a real organization, it's just our fake organization that we use in our office to test things out. So if I click on Basket Weavers, this is the screen I'm going to see, and I'm going to see that blue re-register this organization button. That button is always available. So some of you have asked, like, I re-registered my organization, we were approved, but I still see this button. You will always see that button until October 1st. That just means that that's available for you for that entire time frame when you're going to update. If you are frozen, you will see under that button, it will say in black bold letters, this organization is frozen. So if that's not there, you're in good standing, and if you filled out the update process and you've been approved for us, you are good to go. So once you hit your re-register this organization button, next we have the first screen of the update process. Just to reiterate, read the instructions for the update process, particularly the very top of that. One thing I'd like to point out is that it says, as the submitter of the form, you are now the primary contact for your portal. So that's why it makes sense that usually your president or your vice president is the one who's filling out your update, because that's typically the person that you want to have as your primary contact in your portal. When somebody goes in and they want to contact you, that's who it's going to go to. So just note that. If there's someone specific you want those messages to be going to, that would be the person who would have to update your organization. And then the other thing to note in here is your signature form. So we do want you to submit those to us within 7 days of submitting your update, ideally so that the process goes as fast as it can. I will also say that one of the changes that we have made is that the check process happens outside of our office, and so we allot 2 weeks for that process, and that holds a lot of you up, and we don't want to do that. So what we are going to do is, as long as we have signature forms received from you, we have 5 signature forms from your board members, we will approve your request. You will be unfrozen, you will be good to go. In the event that those checks come back, and there are members who don't meet the requirements in order to hold an e-board position, we will reach out to you and have you edit that. But most of the time, everyone is in good standing, they're doing great, and so hopefully that will eliminate that wait time that a lot of you are experiencing with the update process. And that very last page is the signature forms. So that's what you'll see. So like I said, as long as we have the signature forms received from you within those 7 days, you'll be good to go. The links for signature forms are provided on that page. So also as the submitter of your request, you sign off in the registration process that I understand that I submitted this request, I will be the primary contact of my portal, and I am responsible for sending the signature form links or informing my members that they need to do this. It will not automatically send it for you. So note that that's the last step in the process. Those links are provided there for you. You can copy them, email to your members, but you can also always access it on the home page when you log into your own Eagle Sync under the Forms tab. Those forms are live, available to everyone at all times. You can log into your own Eagle Sync and find it there. So if you lose your link or you can't figure out how to go back to it, you can always access it there. And we want to make that as easy as possible for you. So that was a lot of information. Totally understand that. So in terms of helpful resources for when you're updating, because you're going to do this once a year, and likelihood is that next year you're going to revisit the process and not remember all of these steps. So we have video tutorials on our website. If you go to emish.edu/campuslife, there's a whole section for student organizations on there. So if you go to the resource page, up at the very top, we have a video tutorial for new student orgs. If you're looking to start a student org on campus, there's a video tutorial specific for you in that process. And there's also a video tutorial for all of you that are established organizations and you're just updating your organization. So both of those are live on there. The other super exciting thing that I'm happy to announce, so our office has been working really, really hard on creating like a cohesive document for you all to look at, to know where your organization stands, what's your status, and who submitted their signature forms. And so we have created a student organization status tracker, which is just a really fancy Excel sheet that will go live tonight after our session. It will be at the very top of the resource page for you to be able to link to. You will have access to view that at any time you would like. That is the live version of where your organization is at in your update process. That will tell you your status. It will tell you who submitted your signature forms, your registration, is that approved, is it pending, and it will also show your SOLAR Kickoff attendance.
Lastly, we have our solar sessions. The remaining dates for the year are on the screen, as well as we have them posted on the resource page on our website. SOLAR is an acronym. It stands for Student Organization Learning and Resources, and those are monthly professional development sessions that we have for student organizations. This session, SOLAR Kickoff, is the only required session every year. The rest of these are completely voluntary, but they are also a great way to earn funding for your organization. We do several raffles at every session. Our next session is going to be Monday, October 14th, with someone from the EMU Credit Union to talk about fiscal responsibility and money management, so that'll be a good one to send your treasurers to.
So some upcoming and events and opportunities that we want you to be aware of. So first, which Carter briefly mentioned, is Eagle Leaders Institute, which is our fall leadership retreat. It is open to student organization leaders, Greek leaders, diversity and community involvement staff, as well as a lot of the staff on our floor for Campus Life. It is a great opportunity to connect with other student leaders on this campus, and it is free. It is at no cost to you. It is a weekend leadership retreat, so it's Friday, October 25th through the 27th, which is the last weekend of October. It is an off-campus retreat. It happens in Ortonville, Michigan, if you know where that is. And applications are open right now through September 30th, which I think is a Monday. And so when you log into your EagleSync page, there's 3 alerts. First things that you see at the top of the page. One of them is the link to Eagle Leaders Institute. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, something you would like to do, go ahead and fill out the application. We do have a limited number of spots, so it is competitive, and that you do need to answer some essay questions in order to be considered, but I encourage you to apply, and we would love to see as many of you there as we can. Second to that is also something super new and exciting. Our wonderful activities and engagement team, housed in Campus Life, they handle the Friday night movies on campus. And so this fall semester was the first time that they did this. They want to collaborate with student organizations. So student organizations can apply to sponsor a Friday night movie. And for as many people, there's 250 seats max in the auditorium. For as many people who show up for that movie, are as many entries as you get at a raffle at the very end for $1,000 for your org. So fall was the first time they did that. Applications filled up really fast, as you can imagine. Applications for the winter movies are going to open on December 13th. And now we will have accounting and the credit union come on up.
We're going to talk about some changes of how to access your student funds. All the procedures and forms are located on our website. I just talked to Lucas, and we'll link the student organization website to this website here, because everything's included here. But what you're going to be doing is a little bit different. Before you used to fill out paper forms, the university has gone all paperless. No more paper. So, but in doing so, everything's electronic. It has to be an EMU employee that actually accesses anything. So what we're doing is we're moving the student orgs off campus. So we're going to ask that you open a bank account, preferably with the EMU credit union that's located right here in the student building. If you already have one somewhere else, you're fine, but we're asking you that if you don't have one, to open one. What you're going to need, your first step is to open the Eastern Michigan University accounts. Those are the preferred ones. You have to be set up as a vendor in the system if you're a student organization. And to do so, we need a W-9 and a direct deposit form. Now, the W-9 is going to require you to have an EIN with the IRS. The application is pretty simple. It's right on their website. You will register as a student organization. Give us a call. We'll help you with setting that up. And then once you fill out those two, you drop them off to accounts payable, and they will set you up as a vendor. So, for those of you that are already established and you have funds here at Eastern, we've done on the website is a one-time transfer form. So you're going to fill out this one-time transfer form for the balance in your student organization. If you don't know your balance, that's okay. When you bring it to us, we're going to audit it anyway. So we will find out your balance when you bring it into us. You're going to deliver the form to General Accounting in 201 Homer, and then we will audit the account and we will submit it into the system. Once we submit it, it will take 8 days to turn around to be deposited directly into your bank account. But you're going to have to give us some time because we're going to have to audit. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks by the time we get audit, especially, it might be a little bit longer in the beginning if a lot of people are coming through at the same time. It might be a little bit longer. And then all X funds will be closed as of May 31st, so we'll be closing every one of them. Now, if you already have existing accounts and you have an advisor that will help you spend down your funds, you can spend down your funds as you had before, like through their P-card, or they can submit an invoice for you in order to get your money. So you don't have to do this, but all the funds have to be out by May 31st. So I would suggest just transferring them out. It would probably be the easiest way to handle that. Now, once they're off campus and you have to receive funds from EMU departments, we're going to automatically electronically deposit to the student organization, and you're going to have to submit an invoice to the department along with any pertinent backup. Now, I know you don't usually deal in invoices, but there is a template on our website that you can just fill that template out, submit it to whatever department. For instance, if you did something for athletics and they're going to pay you for selling programs, whatever, you submit an invoice to them and they will run it through the system, and then it will be deposited to your bank account. If you owe a university money, the department money, you can pay any EMU department by submitting a check. If your student organization, if you don't have checks, because you only have a savings account with probably a debit card, you can run the debit card online through the payment website. A lot of departments do have a payment website. I'm trying to think of, probably catering has one, and that's probably one of the biggest ones that we use. If you do not, I think Lucas is going to be, there's going to be one set up on the student organizational portal that you'll be able to deposit to, and just give the information of what department it goes to, and we'll make sure it gets there.
So, we had a fun presentation so far. Mine is super easy, and most of you know all this information, but I'm going to go over it again. I will take questions at the end as well. I left business cards on the front table. I'm here to help. Our office is here. Hence why we're called Here For You. So our office is upstairs, Student Center 312. There we go. So our office manages the student
Student Center spaces, McKinney, and the Lake House. We also then do all the catering contracts for campus. So if your group is doing something fun in, let's say, Sill, for whatever reason, or Frank Arrow, you're having an event over there, and you want some cookies and brownies, like you had this evening from Campus Life, awesome job, Campus Life. You will work with our office to do all of that. So we're kind of a one-stop shop for student orgs to help you get around campus. The other fun part of our job is the special event form. The special event form I'll get into in a minute, but that's the one that you're going to fill out when you want to use this room, when you want to do something fun at Keys. So that's all the big stuff. Our office is also working with the academic folks for your event spaces after 5 o'clock, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So you can see we do quite a bit. I wrote down our fall hours for you. Please note the Sunday building hours. It has not changed from last year, but just a gentle reminder, we do not open until 12 o'clock p.m. So don't show up at 10 trying to get in and get your Starbucks. We won't be open. We have technically 3 forms. This is the inquiry form. This is lobby tables. This is my group needs to meet on such a date for one meeting because we have business to talk about. This is the form to use if you're 50 guests or less and you want to bring in someone to do a topic on resume building. You have a professor that wants to come and talk. Small stuff goes in the inquiry form. The special event form on Eagle Sync, my friend, I love this form so much. It's morphed over the years. I've been here 10 years, and we've gone from a 4-page document that needed 1,001 signatures and basically all policy, to what Savannah and Lucas have created for you in WorkSync. This form comes to me as the starter for event requests. So let's say basket weavers, because they're a rowdy, we know basket weavers are a rowdy group. They want to do a ballroom event where they think they're going to get 400 people to come. Awesome. Start with that form. You want to do poetry side here? Their annual Do What You Do show in the auditorium, special event form. October 17th, you want to do a date auction at McKinney. Not the best event that I can use as an example because of what it is, but still we get it every once in a while. Special event form. You want to do Mr. Greek at Keys Auditorium. What do you think the form you're going to use is? Thanks for following along. Get what I'm saying? Large events, go to the large form. Put it that way. That form comes to me, as I said, for the starting process. Savannah reviews it. Your advisor needs to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Without that, I will move it forward. I will likely tell the advisor in the comments to please review so we can process it. If it needs to go to the rec because you want to do a pool party, you want to play a basketball game, you do want that event at Keys, I start it and get them on the form to review it. We will be holding those other venues responsible to communicate directly with you starting tomorrow when I tell them that fun news. There are too many of you and too few of us in our office to be the constant go-between, and I don't know their venues well enough to speak for rental rates, access times, and all of that. So we will be putting them in direct contact with you. I'm always here if by chance you don't get that info. Special event forms do take a little bit of time because I've got quite a bit to look through. Availability for your spaces, status if I don't see it right away on Eagle Sync. And sometimes there's events that require more questions. I've got to go to DPS and say, there's 700 people on this form. Are we going to staff it? Yes. So now DPS is included. We had a student org that wanted to do a really fun event that hopefully will get off the ground next year as a couch race. Awesome. That required a few extra meetings to get it off the ground. Things like that will take time on your form. We do our best to answer them as fast as we can, but today alone I got 10 new event requests, in addition to everything else that we put out for you. So bear with me is what I'm getting at. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm happy if you want to share this part of the presentation with them. where to find the special event form. So that manage organization button that Savannah talked about, that's your starting point. Upper left corner next to your org student name, there's 3 black dashes or lines. Click that. And then the next step will be to click events. And then should everything be right in the universe and you are in good standing, the person making the request is approved by the president to submit the form, everything aligns, you will see that create an event button. New this year is, this is also the form if you want stuff to show on the calendar. That also comes to me, and I'm trying to keep up with all of them. You may not get an approval right away. I'm trying to hone in on just the big events that need our blessing to get you guys going. So that form is your saving grace for a lot of things. As I said, there's the form it applies to, Convocation Center, Peas, Rec, Park for the amphitheater, outside Lake House, Student Center, larger rooms. The largest room is obviously this one. Auditorium, 300 and 310 A and B will all be included in that form. And then anything at McKinney, just because of the funky building hours that we've got. All right, helpful hints from us. As I said, this is reviewed by quite a few people. On our back end, we have a risk level that we still have to assess, even though you don't see it on your end. A group doing a 50-person resume building program is a lot lower risk than a person or a group doing a 700-person fashion show. So they all kind of weigh differently and they're reviewed case by case. Submitting a form is not equal to a confirmed event. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Submitting a form is not a confirmed event. So just because you submitted it to us in Eagle Sneak does not mean you can show up 3 weeks later and expect to have your auditorium event ready to go. Did everybody get that part? Can I get one big yes? Yes! Thank you! Just making sure you're all awake. There's a lot more to go into planning events than just submitting a form. So I need to talk to you about microphones. I need to talk to you about how you all are going to sit, because somebody actually had to tell me to set rounds of 8. So there's parts that we have to discuss with you. It's not just putting it through and hoping someone on the backside catches it. The higher the risk, the more steps that you'll have to take, and I will gladly walk you through all of that. So nothing to be scared about with large events. Please do not try them if your group is so inclined. So the multi-date forms, they come out every March. And I may need to align our dates a little bit better because we're about 2 weeks ahead of you, so we'll chat. It'll help everybody. These are for groups here in the Student Center that do bi-weekly, weekly, monthly, every other month. I get them all. Your Sunday meetings is the best example of that. You guys all take over our third floor. Those forms come out every March. We put out reminders after reminder after reminder through Eagle Sync, so be on the lookout for that. We try and get you to do the form for the whole school year, so now we are in obviously 1920. If you want to only do the semester, book at your own risk, unless you have a really, really great president that's going to pass on the information as to how to book the winter semester, because I constantly check with them. So I don't want to see a sad snowman. Let's everybody come in and have fun. My quick tips, these are always my favorite part to go through. Be honest when submitting the forms, any of the forms. If you know you're going to get 400 people, put down 400 people. Don't say 40 and expect me to know that, oh, you didn't mean 400 because you forgot the 0. And I did have this happen. So just be honest with me on the form. I want to work with you. We want you to have amazing, successful events here on campus. But I can't do that if you're omitting stuff. I'm not a mind reader, and I don't want to be. If you aren't sure about something, always ask. I'm that annoying person in the office that asks a million questions a day, and I have no problem doing it because there may not be something I'm thinking about. If you have a question, ask. How many of you are presidents in the room? Hi. Hi. You guys are vital to our office. And I say that with meaning it in the best and most respectful way possible. In our office, the presidents are key. I will reach out to you if someone tries to make a reservation under your group that I don't have their name for with our office. I will reach out to you if I have concerns about some events that some folks are putting through that you may or may not be aware of, which has both happened. We had a group using a student org a few years ago. Before we put that check in place, they're like, oh yeah, NAACP, I'm totally doing an event with them. It's going to be great. Here it is. It's 30 people. President of NAACP calls me and they're like, we don't know a single thing about this event. So now we have the contact list directly from the president to tell me who you want to book in that room, because ultimately the presidents are responsible. Sorry for the pressure. Signed contracts for payment are due prior to the event. I try to really do things without having you guys have a debt with our office, because obviously that'll make you frozen. I will work with you as best as you can if you run into money issues, if you run into allocation issues, anything like that. Student orders do not pay room rentals in either here or McKinney. You do have some staffing fees, audiovisual, example. So there are fees to do events here. So work with me in advance and I can help you navigate all that. Campus life updates are separate from CES. After all the work that we've done with Savannah, I still cannot get my booking system to talk to Eagle King. So yes, you do have a separate form to fill out for me. Most of them are caught by the multi-date form, which is helpful. But there are quite a few orders that don't meet on a regular basis that do office stuff with us. CES does not equal campus life. Our office does not manage student art offices. I'd like to, because that's just one more thing, but that's not what our area does. I can't help you figure out why you're frozen. That's these lovely people. I can usually tell pretty quickly why you might be frozen, but I'm not the end all be all. Need something for your meeting, please ask for it in advance. If you need a media cart, you need a projector, you need a whiteboard, please just don't take it out of our storage areas. We do have some late fees if you guys do add equipment on a regular basis that we are adding every week for you. Just tell us in advance that you need it, because we do have some fees that apply. Details are key for our business. If anybody has ever worked with planning events, you know the details make or break the event. So if you had a sketch, hello, okay. Speaking of we look at all that information from you and basically pull it out of you, because our teams then depend on knowing for sure what time you want to get in the room. If that starts at 6, but you want to access at 5, that's maybe my assumption unless you tell me otherwise. If you really wanted 2, that affects what goes on in this room ahead of you. And then we also get the questions for DPS at events. There are a few rules where DPS will be automatically applied to your event, and we will discuss that all with you in advance. The biggest one being cash on site. If you do door donations, if you pass the hat, if you have an admission fee of $5 to get into the ballroom event, that all requires DPS to be on site, and we will walk you through that. Most of the time now, for all of the events, we are looking at minimum, a DPS walkthrough, but that's reviewed on a case-by-case basis depending on the overall event. If you have 250 people in the auditorium, that's a lot different than 700 here in the ballroom. So we will walk you through that. Lieutenant Diana Young is very helpful and wants to be supportive of student orgs, and I work very closely with her to get her all the info she needs to get ready for events that might be coming her way.
If you're wondering why we're up here, it's because student government is one of the primary resources that ORs can use to get funding for the events and activities that they want to put on. So I'm just going to start out giving you a little bit of background about what student government is, just so it demystifies it for you a little bit. But then we're going to get right into the important stuff, which is how you can apply to get money from student ORs. So this is just our board. Just basically, these are people that help us do everything that it is that we do. The most important name on here is Mohammed Kapoor. For you guys, that's Mohammed here, right with us. He's the one that manages our student organization funding application process. I'm not going to go into the other names right now, because my kids are not as important for you. But they're very Okay, just to give you a picture of what student government looks like, we have the executive board, which is all the names that you saw before, that myself and the vice president kind of hired. We have the student body senate, which you all elected, and that senate is broken up into 4 different committees. The committee that's going to be most important to all of you is the business and finance committee. So that is the body of people, the panel that you're going to appear before in order to request an allocation for your student organization. So Mohammed's going to chair those meetings, and so there's going to be a panel of student body senators that will vote on your allocation request. Just so you know what we mean when we say the Business and Finance Committee, that's what that is. Some of the things that we do are up here on the screen. I wanted to basically bring your attention to 2 that we're going to work directly with student organizations to provide that are coming out soon. And that is, we're working on giving you guys the opportunity to apply for parking validations. So if you're going to be having an event here in the Student Center, then you're going to be able to work with us, and then we can provide some parking validations so you can park out in the Student Center parking lot, and the people that are coming to your event aren't going to have to pay for that themselves. And we're also going to be providing paint supplies for you to paint the student speech space wall over in between Pray Herald and Porter. So in just the next couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks from now, we'll have that live. You can come fill out a form and pick that stuff up from the student government office so you can get your messages out there a little bit easier.
The most important question is, how do I get money from my org? The first thing you guys want to do is want to go on our website, which is emusg.com, and it's under works right now, so bear with us. You will see a get funding link right in the middle, right under the picture, and that will take you to a page where it will say over here, that circle down there. You just click on the form, and then it will take you to this page. And on this page, it will say, it will have a PowerPoint presentation on requirements to get funding from us. There is a couple of forms that you guys need to fill out. The first one is the application form, which is currently on the website, and there's 2 more forms that will soon be on the website. One of them is the signature form. You will need to have your president sign the form, the treasurer, and the faculty advisor. And for club sports, you have to have the director of the club sports to sign that form. The second important form is a working budget. Something new this year is having the budget on the right side. What we're trying to do is to get a detailed list, a detailed understanding of what you guys need the money for, right? So you're gonna have to submit it to us or to me at emusg_bispin. I want everybody to write that down because that's how you guys can get a hold of it, right? You will have to submit the allocation form, the signature form, and the working budget. You will have to submit the working budget twice. The first is an estimate of the cost that you guys are expecting to have. The second time, which is new this year, you will send it again with an update of the actual expenses. Also, I will need a scanned form of the receipts. Right? The receipts are very important, you guys. If you guys don't email me back with the updated budget form with the receipts, your club might be on bad standing. So that's very important. Okay, after I get the allocation process, I will send you an email, and if you guys are missing anything, I will let you guys know what you're missing. We'll answer questions in a second. Yeah, sure. So, emusg_bispin, BUSFIN @emus.edu. So that's how you guys can get a hold of me. So after filling out the allocation form, I will receive your information. I will send out an email, be like, hey, you guys either have all the requirements or you guys are missing some requirements, and then we'll go from there.
An important date is Thursday before the meeting. I need to have all the allocation requests in order to make it on the agenda, right? I will need the request by Thursday, the Thursday before the meeting. And the meeting, the BMF committee meets every other Tuesday. On Tuesdays, 6:30, Student Center Room 301. So all forms, I need to get all forms by the Thursday before the meeting. So what would you guys expect during the BMF committee meeting? What we're looking for is, even though we're happy and we want to give everybody money, we need to know that you guys are also fundraising. You guys are actively trying to raise money other ways. Also, another requirement or another thing that would honestly give you like the bonus points is your event. How many students will it reach, right? The bigger the event, the better. We want to reach as many students as we can. And also, try to keep your costs low, right? You don't need to have the biggest, most fanciest stuff. Whatever works, right? These will help in order to receive committee funding during committee meetings. After the meetings, I will send an email saying either your request was fully confirmed, partially confirmed, or denied. And if it's denied, there will be an explanation why it was denied.